friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. In today's video, we are going to be writing out the budget for the fourth week in July. We are already wrapping up July. Can you guys believe it? August will be here before we know it, but we got one more paycheck in July to budget. The paycheck date is July 27th. And I'm pretty excited this week because I'm going to get to add a little bit of money to my budget from my newest source of income. If you are not aware, you missed that video, I added some printables to my Etsy shop this past week. They're my August printables. They're super cute. Let me give you guys a little sneak peek if you missed that. I guess it's not really a sneak peek if I've already shown them, is it? It's just a peek. So here is a look at what the printables look like. They are all done up in this really gorgeous yellow color, which I know is not everyone's cup of tea. I've had some comments that say that the white text on the yellow is a little bit difficult to see, and I agree. If I could go back and do it again, I probably would have done that in a little bit of a different color, but in person it's easy enough to see, and I just love the bright sunny yellow. So I have a bundle that you can purchase my August printables all as one big bundle, or you can buy them individually. So if you just want the calendar page, or you just want a monthly budget or a dashboard page, you can do that. I don't want to go on too long. This isn't like a sales pitch. I just want to let you guys know if you're interested in those, you can check them out on my Etsy shop. But I've had a couple of you purchase my printables, which I'm so incredibly flattered and humbled by. So we're going to add a little bit of income that I'm going to get to put towards debt, which is so exciting. So our income sources for the week are my husband's paycheck number 4, which I do not disclose how much my husband earns. He asked that I not do that, so out of respect for him, I'm just going to leave that section blank. But that is the primary source of income for the week, what we're mostly going to be using for bills. We also have a rollover amount. That's the amount that we had left over last week after we paid all of our bills and took care of all of our expenses. We like to roll money over week to week, just to make sure that everything can be covered with paycheck fluctuations and that sort of thing. You know, that's kind of how we make sure that all the ends meet. Then we have the income that we're going to receive from my oldest son. If you're not familiar, my oldest son is 18 years old, working full-time but living at home. So in an effort to kind of teach him the ropes as far as budgeting goes, we charge him a little tiny bit of rent every month just to get him used to the idea of paying rent. And so that amount of income is $200. That's what we charge him. That's actually for his rent, as well as that covers his portion of the phone bill. So that $200, I'll go ahead and write that in. That's not a secret. I don't talk about the rollover amount from the previous week because that kind of gets tied in with how much my husband brings in. It's too easy to figure out his income if I tell you how much I'm rolling over each week. So I'm going to leave that blank. I'll fill those two sections in off camera. But I can tell you that $200 of income from my son paying his rent. And I use air quotes because we take a portion of this rent money and we actually just set it aside for him. It's more of a tool to teach him how to budget than it is like, you know, helping out our budget. It's a little bit towards our budget. It basically kind of helps out with feeding him because the kid can eat, let me tell you. But mostly it's just a tool to teach him how to budget. I did a whole separate video where I talked about my son's budget and what I'm trying to teach my kids about personal finance. So if you missed that video and you're interested in knowing kind of how I break down his paycheck and that sort of thing, you can check that out. I'll link it in a card above. But that's part of the income that we're going to receive this week. And then the last source of income for the week is Etsy. which I'm so excited about. You guys, it's not a lot. I'm not making thousands of dollars by any stretch of the imagination, but I was already making the printables anyway, so the fact that, you know, I was able to list them on Etsy and some of you guys are interested in purchasing them is just so humbling. Again, I appreciate it so much. So the amount that I'm expecting from Etsy, and I need to go into my app and find out because I'm not sure exactly how much it is, $32.91. So thank you all for your support. I can tell you that 100% of the profits that I make from my Etsy shop are going to go straight towards debt. So I'm going to be pulling some of this money out for taxes, 30% to put into my envelope to cover any taxes I have to pay on this income. And then everything else is going to go straight towards debt. So by purchasing my printables, you're helping me pay off my debt. I appreciate it so much. So with all of that being said, I'm not going to bother writing in an income total because obviously there's some information missing here, but I just wanted to kind of put that in there and give you guys a big thank you for supporting my Etsy shop. I appreciate it. Now we can start writing in the spending. That was the income, now comes the spending. So the first category here in my Budget Mom Paycheck Bill Tracker, which this is going to be the last time I think that I'm using one of these Paycheck Bill Trackers because I'm going to start using my version of my Paycheck budget system starting in August. But for now, we're going to enjoy this. I love the Budget Mom printables. I do always have her printables linked down below. She has a physical copy of her workbook that you can buy and have shipped to your house, but I always use the printable version of her stuff because I love printables. I love being able to print as many copies as I want or as few copies as I want, and I can punch them and put them right here into my Happy Planner. So under this bills category, I write in anything that I'm going to be paying from my checking account. So that includes all of our bills, whether they're automatic payments or payments I need to go in and make. It also includes anything that I'm going to swipe my debit card for. For example, our gasoline goes under this bills category, even though it's not technically a bill. I just kind of put it there to differentiate it from the cash spending because I hate doing gas in cash. I did it for a while, but I hate having to get out of my car and lock everything up and go into the gas station and pay cash and then come back out and pump the gas. And then if it doesn't take as much cash as I prepaid, I got to go back in to get change, and it's just a pain. So I keep my gasoline under the bills category for that reason. So I'm going to take a look at my little calendar here and find out what bills are due this week. And actually this calendar is not up to date, so let me take a look at the other calendar. I know it's weird that I have multiple calendars, but I was kind of transitioning between using what I was using previously and using my own printables here, so this one's not up to date either. Okay, that's all right. The thing is, we are getting paid on Tuesday the 27th, which you guys can't see because it's not in frame, Tuesday the 27th, and that money is going for everything between now and my husband's next paycheck, which is, where is my August calendar? I need to get some tabs. Which is not until the 3rd. So in addition to the last couple of bills that we had in July, we are also paying these first couple of bills in August. So we have to pay, now I lost track of my June calendar. No, it's not. It's my July calendar. Okay. So we have to pay Walmart here, and then we have these bills on the 1st of August. So let's go ahead and write that information in. And I have just got a mess going on here, you guys. So sorry, I'm so discombobulated. All right. So the first of the bills is my Walmart card, and this is a minimum payment on my Walmart card. And I actually just went in and did a balance transfer. on this Walmart card. It was through Capital One. I did a balance transfer. It hasn't gone through yet, but I'm hopeful that it will and everything will be all good. And then I can have, I have a card that has 20 months interest free. So I'm going to move this balance onto that card and hopefully avoid paying any interest on this. I'll be able to pay it off hopefully within those 20 months. I don't foresee a problem with that. And just save myself a little bit of interest. But for now, it's still on Capital One and the minimum payment's due, so I have to go ahead and pay it. And that amount that I'm budgeting is $130. Okay, next up then I have my lot rent. These are those bills that I pointed out for the 1st of August. So for my lot rent, I pay $527 a month. If you're not familiar, I own my home. We paid off our mortgage free and clear spring 2020, I believe. We live in a mobile home. So it was not a huge mortgage, but still we were able to pay it off, which was wonderful. But we still gotta pay to rent the lot that it's on. We are in a mobile home community, also known as a trailer park. So it's not an ideal situation. Someday I hope to have my own land. But for now, we're renting the land and that's fine. So $527 for that. Also, we have our water bill, which I typically will budget $50 a month for water. And that's actually what I have written down on my rough draft. However, I just got that bill in the mail and I happen to know that it's going to cost us more than that this month. So it is what it is. Usually we come in well under that $50, but we had a leak. My boys' toilet was running constantly, and so that caused our water bill to go up a little bit. My husband is a plumber. They didn't think to tell him that their toilet was running, so it was a while before he realized it and was able to fix it. It's fixed now, but it did up our water bill a little bit. So I don't know, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know it was 60 something, so I'm going to budget $65 for our water bill this month so that we have it covered. Next up, we have our cable, which is also due on the 1st. That's high-speed internet as well as cable TV. We don't really watch the cable TV, but we were able to get a package deal through our mobile home community where we were able to get the internet and the cable TV for less than we were paying for just high-speed internet at the time. So it was a really good deal. We jumped on that. So for cable, we are going to budget, that's $65 as well. And then the last thing here, as I mentioned, is our gasoline. So for gas, I'm going to budget $50 for the week. That's enough to fill our Subaru Forester with gas prices being what they are right now, so that's what I budget. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and add these totals up because that is it for the bills category. So 130 plus 527 plus 65 plus 65 plus 50 is $837 for this bills category. Next up, we have cash envelopes. So for our cash envelopes, these are all of the items for the week that we are going to pay using cash. It's kind of our variable expenses that go under this category. So first up, we have food. And so this is groceries as well as eating out. And we're going to budget $200 for that. Next, I have my husband's spending money, and he gets $40 at the start of every week to do with whatever he pleases. Likewise, I also get $40. This kind of cash envelope section does not change much week to week. It's usually the same thing over and over again. So next up, we have my son, Austin, who is 13 and earns an allowance every week. Or at least he has the ability to earn an allowance. He doesn't always earn it. If he doesn't do his chores, I don't pay him, you guys, but he's really good about doing his chores. So that's $20 for him. Then we have the miscellaneous 20 that goes in my wallet just to cover anything else that comes up throughout the week. And the last category I have here isn't really a cash envelope. It's technically a sinking fund. So I'm not going to put it in here. I'm going to put it under sinking funds. So I'm going to have to reconfigure my sinking funds a little bit, but that's fine. It's the $50 that we pull out of my son's rent money that he pays, and we put it aside for him in a little savings envelope. So that'll go under sinking funds. For now, I'm just going to add this up because that's everything for cash envelopes for the week. So 200 plus 40 plus 40 plus 20 plus 20 is $320 in our envelope total. So next up we have sinking funds, and I'm adding quite a bit of money to sinking funds this week, and I got quite a few categories. Too many categories for me to list here. It's one of the reasons I really wanted to start making my own printables, because I have a lot of sinking funds, and as of late I've been adding money to every sinking fund every single week, so there's just more categories than there are lines. So for now I'm just going to write in sinking funds here and how much we are going to add to our sinking funds total. And then you guys will have to come back and watch my cash envelope stuffing to see which categories are getting what. So I need to really quickly add up, make a couple changes since I decided I wasn't going to put my son's money under envelopes. I need to make a few changes and figure out how much money I'm going to set aside for taxes for Etsy. So I need to do some quick math off camera, and I'll be right back to let you know how much in total we're going to put into our sinking funds this week. Give me just a sec. Okay, so I did a bunch of calculating and a bunch of writing in and erasing things, but I finally figured it out. The amount that we are going to put into sinking funds this week, including the $50 for my son's savings envelope, is $253. Kind of an odd number, but that's kind of what we're working with. So sinking fund total is going to be $253, and as I mentioned, if you want to see exactly how much we're putting into each fund, check back later this week for my cash envelope stuffing. I'll break it all down there. But that's it for sinking funds. Now for extra debt. So we were already planning on sending $100 to our Lowe's card just from like my husband's paycheck, typical weekly debt payment. We always try to make some sort of payment to the card that we're currently working on, which is a Lowe's card. Sometimes it's $50, sometimes it's $12. We always try to pay something, and that amount that we had written in for this week was $100. But I also want to make sure that I'm paying extra to Lowe's from my Etsy income. So let's figure out how much we're going to send to Lowe's from Etsy. So the paycheck I'm expecting, it's so funny to even call it a paycheck. It's $30, guys, $32.91. That's what I'm expecting to be paid from Etsy this week. Again, thank you so much to those of you who have ordered. I need to withhold 30% of that for taxes. So that's $9.87. I round that up to $10. So $10 of my sinking funds is also going towards Etsy. There's a little peek of that. So if I'm going to take $10 and put it towards taxes, that leaves me with the $32.91 minus 10. That leaves me with $22.91 that I'm going to pay to Lowe's from my Etsy income. So it's not a lot, but it's $22 more than what I had originally planned. So I'm excited about that. So that's a total, why am I even plugging this into the calculator? It's easy enough to figure out. $122.91 is going towards Lowe's this week. The very last category here is my extra savings, which is where I write in that rollover amount. So we take all of our income here, we subtract out the bills we're paying, the money we're putting into cash envelopes, the money we're setting aside for sinking funds, and the debt payments, and whatever we have left over at the end of that gets rolled over into next week. I don't write that number in just for privacy reasons, but that I will write in on my own, and that will be what we roll over into next week. So that is it for my budget for the week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I'd love to have you come back, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends!